Yo, yo, I'm live. I'm at the church again, just outside of it. Got a lot of really low CP Pokemon here, so I figured I'd take down this gym. It's a nice day out. I wasn't in a mood to battle just before this, but when you see it's this easy, I guess you take the opportunity, but is it really right to fight? I don't know. I'm asking you, dear viewer. I was watching Digimon Tri-Adventure Future, I think Future, not Futures, and then I remember the main, like the leader of the first Digidestin group of people is Tai. I think it's Tai Chi in Japanese, but Tai in English, and he's questioning really like, what's the point of fighting? This is the last episode of the whole series. I think there were like 8 installments in it, and as far as I could tell, they were masterpieces, really. Somebody who watched Digimon growing up. Not everyone shares that view, but the animation and just the way it's done were, to me, quite stellar. And so, anyway, this is Pokemon here, not Digimon, so we just took down this gym. I'm kind of out like shiny hunting per usual, and let's see what we can put here. Men's, you know, it's just weird to play this game like near a church, I guess. That's the main thing. Feels kind of weird. I guess Mence is my top player here, so we'll leave him. Or her. I don't actually know the gender. We got this stop just before the battle. I have a lot of Pokeballs right now, and a lot of gifts, actually. Been getting outside and just playing, you know, and every stop gives a gift now. Thank you, Niantic. God bless you. And so, yeah. Kind of thinking it's a nice day for a walk. See how far to go. I think it doesn't hurt to kind of keep going a little bit. It is Sunday. We checked all these mons already. So, you know, I wouldn't mind a shiny ball toy. There. Very nice church. Haven't been inside it. It's not there's some clouds. Almost spoke too soon there. So, guess if I knew I wanted to walk this much, I would have brought my earbuds, but that's all right. Let's get some more Pokeballs here. I'm a fan of the band Blink-182, and they're doing this kind of contest where fans submit videos. And so since I stream this a lot, I submitted a video of me playing Pokemon GO. They're doing a music video, and it's like a compilation. So I just sent this short little thing. You know, I don't think it'll. I don't know if it'll get accepted or not, but it's always worth like doing these sorts of things anyway, because I don't know, it's like low risk, high payoff, right? Not that this would pay any money, obviously, but like to be in a Blink video, how cool would that be? So honestly, I should probably submit this instead, so they actually see me talking about it. But yeah, nah, I'll just keep my submission as it is. There's no need to keep going back and editing. I could edit the response though, I could do that. So, the song is Happy Days by Blink-182. It's off their newest album, what was it called? 9, because it's album number 9 from them. So, simple to the point. All caps, I'm not sure why that, but doesn't need to be a reason per se. I'm sure there is though. So, walking down the road here. I haven't walked down this path since like 2016, which is when I started playing this game. So, it's like a nostalgia trip for me. I mean, I think what Blink ultimately really wants to see is like creativity and kind of like, you know, I wasn't really talking during my video because it's like, if it's going to be in the music video, I don't think they could like have like sounds from the fans' videos come on while the song's playing, or like in between the song. If it's like a really good, anyway, if it's a really good submission, they might do that. But yeah. So anyway, I'm walking down this road here. Palos Verdes Drive south, and it's like a lot of people out and about, even though like the park near me just closed. Parks are closing around LA. So I'm not playing Animal Crossing, which it seems like everybody is. Like, I'm still playing Sword Pokemon, just like Pokemon. So it's like all trails are closed by the city, but it's like people are still out walking. It's kind of weird. It's like a weird state. It's almost like there's maybe it's like we're all disconnected a little bit from what's going on governmentally. And of course everybody's into politics these days. But yet people are out. There's a couple right in front of me. I'm on a trail, you can see it down there. So, I think people really are taking this thing seriously. Though I don't expect to get COVID, like, if I'm still 6+ feet away from people outside in an open space. Like, that's not how viruses propagate. I'm not a biologist or a chemist, but as far as I know, viruses, I don't know. It seems more to me like they would thrive under some sort of contained environment. You know, like if you're near somebody, right? That's like, but if you're out here, like with this wide open space, it's like, how's the virus gonna travel through that? And if it's like picked up by the wind, if that, you know, like how would it latch onto you? It's like so random, so unpredictable that could happen, that it's like, it's almost not even worth taking seriously, because you could live your life that way, and it's like, why would you do that? Live your life on the smallest chance that something could go wrong, and it's like, you want to minimize that risk, obviously, as much as you can, close to zero. Get that thing down to zero, but like, I don't know. To close down the trails and stuff, I can't be the only one who thinks this, but it seems a bit much to me. And we all have safety in mind, safety first. You know, this is how it was when Bush Jr. was president. You know, So Republican ideal, I think, is like emphasis on defense and security and all that. I get it. We all want to be politically congruent, but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and you don't forego risk when it's really not a risk. Like, I'm not gonna get a virus just like walking out here, like not even near anyone. I'm more worried about like getting a phone virus, you know? So I'm more worried about that, frankly. So we'll see. We'll see what the trend is. I'm kind of like, I'm almost taking like a future-oriented historical sort of attitude toward this, and I'm recording a lot, obviously. You see me recording this, and it's like, how many people are ever going to see this? I don't know. I don't really, I hope people watch it just because engagement is good. Like, you know, like video, like gaming, you know, like gaming engagement, engagement, maybe. That's good. It's better to play with people than just by yourself. Then, so that's what I'm doing. A couple coming up here. Hi. Good. How about you? Good. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Take care. I'm taking a lot of pictures, like if there's a sign saying like, you know, keep out, there's a lot of those signs around me. I'm sure California seems to be ahead on this, which is kind of funny because, you know, given the federal situation, Republican administration, seems like California is a pretty liberal state. Sorry, not country. We could be a country. Fourth biggest economy in the world, I think. Something like that. I don't know. But certainly in the country, it's a big economy. And technology, unrivaled. California. San Francisco, unrivaled. Without peer in tech. So that's our big thing. San Francisco, primarily. There's some nice space here that I haven't like explored yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm too steeped in video gaming, like ever since like Breath of the Wild. I mean, you see these as reflections of culture, right? Like, you look at the entertainment industry broadly as like reflecting the culture at any given point, right? It's part of the culture. It is the culture. It is a culture. So I look at things like Breath of the Wild, I look at Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I'm like, there's like this big emphasis on open space, and it just runs in the face of this current situation with coronavirus, and you know, people just being told to stay in, stay home, it's safer. We get it, but when you actually scrutinize it, it kind of seems to fall apart, honestly, at least for someone my age. I don't know. It's good to be health conscious, but like it's also good to be like you conscious, me conscious, you know, us conscious. So I don't really need any more gifts, but I'm on the hunt for Baltoy. So where I am now doesn't seem closed down. Abalone Cove, it kind of is. I see some like orange like obstacles, but yeah, there's a lot of stops here. There's another church coming up. I streamed to that church once. Yeah, I mean, it's similar to like streaming at cemeteries, which is like you can't do because they got rid of that that feature. Okay, now here I can't pass. See that sign? Transfer the solosis. So I'm happy to turn back and heed the signs. It's just, if you don't see the sign, then kind of like, it says, does it even say trails on this thing? It says public trails, I think. All public parks, beaches, open space. Yeah, so open space, that's what this is. Trails. So by that sign, no one should be outside right now, and yet some of us are. So I don't know. The city is, I'm sure the city's doing its best with this, but I think people just aren't in a mood to like sit still right now. You know, there's a lot of creative energy around. I mean, I view what I'm doing here streaming as inherently creative. Not to sound arrogant, but just how I view it as a kind of mode of creative expression. And so I think since Trump's been in office, I don't know, it's hard to say. Maybe I'm politicizing things too much. Because like, I think people are realizing, like I am maybe, that there's so much we took for granted before all of this. What is that? Roselia. I could use a shiny of that. Anyway, so there's all these notices. Maybe there'll become more of them, but I don't view this as a coronavirus. More and more I feel like it's more people just like being home. People just like it. It's not about, oh, there's a disease that you might get. Maybe you will. I don't know anyone who has it. But I understand people are worried. I do. But maybe we want to work, stay at home and like be with family more. I'm not convinced that we want to work more. I don't really think that. Just kind of, it's been my own experience, is like, I'm not getting that feeling from people. My higher ups, you know, I've been doing my work pretty consistently, but I did hit a wall at a certain point and kind of thought, okay, I've done a lot of work in the last few years, so let's kind of see where it leads now. So maybe we're all like at the precipice of the future, it's that sort of thing. So people really aren't taking these signs that seriously. They're kind of hard. It's like they're not being enforced in a strict way. They're just there, and you could easily walk over the gates and stuff if you wanted. I'm not inclined to do that. I want to respect the city ordinances and decisions that are being made by our elected officials, but you know, when things start to smell like a conspiracy, they can't really, you know, you can't just ignore your hunches. Like, you gotta, well, you don't want to hunch too far back, I guess. That's true. You don't want to overextend yourself, right? Just based on suspicion and all that. So I get that, that's fine. Anyway, we're pretty far afield from the Pokemon here. This has all become bigger than it, but I appreciate this medium of expression in the meanwhile, and just Pokemon's kind of like role in my life. It's kind of always been there in a sort of, you know, in some way or other. But maybe we've all been a bit too rebellious. I don't know. Maybe I've been too rebellious in the last couple of years, and it's kind of hard not to. Like, that's the point, I think, of like government setting these sorts of things up, is like the more you tighten the rules, the more people start to look for wiggle room, because you get uncomfortable just sitting in one spot for too long, or at least your mind starts to wander. You know, with no way to externalize itself. It's like, what happens then? Does your mind just kind of eat itself, or maybe not? Maybe not. Hi. But basically, at this point, if anyone's being overly strict, like from above, like authorities and stuff, I'm a little bit like, why? Like, what's the point of that? Where does that lead? How is that good for the people under you? The people under you are not going to want to work for you if you're that anal, frankly. So that's just how it works. I'm just, it's just like, you could say spouting gospel, maybe. Maybe that's all this is. But at a certain point, people say enough's enough, and then what happens? Well, in history, rebellion is what happens. That's what happens. With any kind of like stringent sort of policing, you know. But anyway, it's not that bad here, not yet. I'm just kind of wary. Started listening to this Jordan Peterson guy lately, and you know, he's been very kind of like spooked out by, I mean, you know, spooked out by totalitarianism. And I kind of say, who wouldn't be? I'm pretty sympathetic toward that. And people who come to this country and like may kind of have the mindset or attitude of like, oh no, we need more of that. It's like, really? Sit down. You're in our country. Respect how things are done here. Not to sound totalitarian myself, but like, geez. Have some humility, that's all I'm saying. To anyone who will listen. I say it as somebody who's like experienced ego, and quite recently I've experienced it, you know. It's like, there's nothing wrong with experiencing ego, God, but don't let it consume you. That's the point. That's the point. Anyway, I'm getting kind of hungry. Our Baltoy hunt's not going well right now. My girlfriend's going to Sonoma, so that's good for, I'm happy for her. So, I wonder what it'll be like there right now. She's just got to get off the news cycle every now and then. It's like a balance of staying informed versus saying slave to whatever they're saying. I really like this word. I watched Incredibles 2 recently, and I know I'm kind of late to that, but one of the villains, or like one of the kind of like small time villains in there, is called the screenslaver, which I'm like, that's like, there was a really trenchant critique in that movie, and I don't think that it's not the biggest point of the movie. It's a part of it, but it was also kind of powerful. I thought it was like really well thought out, and it's when the mom of the Incredibles family is fighting the screenslaver, and the screenslaver is going on about how, oh, you know, people are just slaves to their screens, and it's like, well, in some ways maybe, but I mean, it's possible. I just don't really see that though. Like, I don't really see that in actuality. So I think that's kind of the point, is the screenslaver is just like trying to point out the kind of like bad in people, and, you know, like going about trying to fix whatever they think the problem is, like all wrong. It's just all wrong. So that's never a good thing. But Pokemon Go is a good thing. So this recording's gone on for quite a bit. 26 minutes. It hasn't felt that short, but another trend I've noticed lately is people just like becoming closer to their own age groups. I noticed it first in my psychology department, and there was this kind of effort. It was a good effort, really, to like bring students on board with like hiring professors, just like in the process. I think there's some wisdom to that, not complete, but yeah, anyway, when I actually like tried to step up and offer my own opinion, like the elders were sort of taken aback, and maybe that's my own communication style. Maybe I was too direct, probably was, but like then you kind of back off and it's like, sorry. So I'd like a shiny soul rock more than anything here, because my name means sun, Suraj. So shiny soul rock would be nice, but honestly, well, right now I have better odds in this game, maybe. But I like kind of comparing the ratios between this and sword, because in sword I had the shiny charm, and that, well, it makes my chances of finding a shiny in the wild like 1 in 1.4 thousand. Hear the bell. It tolls for me. Anyway, this whole experience is bringing people closer together, like more tight-knit. We're returning to our tribal way of being, which is probably called for at this point. It doesn't seem like everyone thinks tribalism's a good thing, but if you don't have the tribalism at the very beginning, like as you start to expand your kind of social network, then you're missing your core, and your core is your family, basically. I mean, it's more deep than that. It's you. Your core is you and God, but then the next layer is like family, and your sibling is your siblings are the most similar people to you in the world, so that's not trivial by any means. But I digress and profess and confess. I just miss my girlfriend. Times like these, video chats are one thing, but digital versus physical, right? They're already blurring for me, which is a good thing in some way, maybe. You don't always need to separate and distinguish concepts, you know. It's not always prudent to do that. It's good to have clarity and precision, but vagueness isn't inherently bad either. Especially if what you're getting at... Oh, shiny spoink! Woo! That's so good. I love shiny spoink. I saw it on Facebook yesterday. So good. Woo! So, we got a shiny. I have shiny Grumpig from Ultra Sun, but I gotta say, shiny spoink is definitely a good one. I don't need any candies. I don't need to make that. Ooh, 3 stars. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. I might want to trim this because I've been like, I don't know. Trim this recording, I mean. But I kind of like to upload my process. It's kind of raw, but you know, I guess polish is good too. Shiny spoink, that's pretty nice. Another Roselia. It's because of the weather. It's sunny, so I think grass is, I gotta say, just being a little more critical is like, I feel that, at least when it comes to weather in Pokemon, grass and fire types, which is just what appeared here right now, Seedot and Growlithe, the two types are like more synergistic than water and ice. I guess water and ice are kind of more synergistic in a way, because a lot of water types can learn ice moves too. But I don't know, when it comes to like starters, it kind of bugs me. I know they have the pledge moves, so that's kind of okay. Like the elemental pledge moves. Fire pledge, water pledge, grass pledge, and so they work together. But like if they were to set up weather, they wouldn't work as well, like as equally among the 3. Then it would definitely be that, like, okay, like a Charizard can learn Solar Beam, a Charizard can learn fire and grass type moves. Grass types usually, you know, they don't get like offensive grass move or fire moves, so maybe that's sort of the point. Is that fire types just tend to have more offensive coverage than grass types? That's fine. That makes some sense. But yeah, then it's like, you know, it's like if it's sunny, then grass types can use Solar Beam better, and if it's sunny, then water type moves are weakened. It's like that makes sense. But M&J TV, the YouTube Michael on that channel, he does a better job of explaining all this than I do. He gets really into it. It's nice. But anyway, so my point is, like, sun makes it easier to use Solar Beam because it takes 1 turn when it's sunny to use Solar Beam, and it strengthens fire type moves. But then water types kind of get shafted. So I'm not saying put everything on sun, but I think part of that is like they did add grassy terrain, and there's no water terrain or there's no fire terrain because there's already sun and rain. So I think that makes sense, and they shouldn't add fire and water terrain unless they were to also add like some grass weather, which would be kind of interesting. But yeah, so there's some Mons here. I'm gonna go this way instead. I follow the Mons, I guess. The monsters. Ah, it smells like food. I guess I'm hungry. Shiny Hoppip is pretty cool. I don't know if it exists in here. I feel like it might, but anyway, I'm pretty happy about that shiny Spoink. I've checked enough Mons, psychic types during this event, Psychic Spectacular, that it makes sense that I finally found a shiny. Just statistically. Yeah, so I think my video hit the like maximum file size, so it stopped. But I'm just having too much fun here. Having a good time. Okay, that's being uncooperative. I'm not good at spinning and going that way. That didn't even hit it, man. That's so hard to hit when it's over there. Just have to do it. Jeez, this is the hardest Solosis ever to catch. Oh, what? I hate when this happens. This has been happening more lately, actually. I better report this.